I'm a little surprised. I thought I would be on an island here with my number 1 pick, but we'll start here at the back half. Number 5 for me, Renegade, who we talked about a little bit earlier, ran against Paladin a couple times, came back, was impressive in the Sam F. Davis. I think Renegade's a legit horse. I don't think I'm going to pick Renegade in the Kentucky Derby. I don't think I'm going to have Renegade in my top 5 when we get to the Kentucky Derby. But right now, I am like the people behind Renegade. I am projecting a better future for, but I'm not willing to put on this list yet because Renegade right now is, in my mind, the 5th best horse heading into this Derby. I will then contradict myself when I talk about my number 4 horse. Who do you like as your number 5 horse?
Number 5 for me is Class President. I debated between Class President and Renegade. I don't know. I kind of like the upside from Class President a little bit there. I thought that was really, really good that he was able to fight back and win like that. So I put Class President number 5. I like the upside. I'm really curious where he runs next. That's going to be a big factor. To kind of give you an idea of what Pletcher thinks of him, where he kind of points him next. But yeah, look, Renegade, Class President, I think it's very debatable between those two.
Where does he go?
Bluegrass, maybe? I'm thinking Bluegrass.
It's not the Arkansas Derby?
I don't think he's going back there. He was very non-committal about going back there. So that's what makes me think maybe he's going somewhere else. Maybe he's going to wait an extra week and run in a race like the Bluegrass, or maybe the Wood. If he goes to the Wood, I think it's a bad sign.
Me too. I think it's Arkansas Derby. I really do.
That'd be fine.
I just don't understand where else you go with him. You're not going to the Florida Derby.
No.
Right? Nearly's there. No reason to go there. Now you have, let's say that Power Shift is good.
Yeah.
Where's he going?
That's probably your Bluegrass horse if he's good. Yeah.
And so then you're to me, then you kind of default into the Arkansas Derby. All right, number 4 on the list for me. I did not pick him. And I just said I have horses that I like. I think Canaletto's really good. I have Canaletto at number 4. I think he's a very, very good horse. I just don't know what I'm going to get from him this weekend, and I know he's going to get bet. And that to me is why, because I'd have Puma at 6 on this list. So it's not like there's a huge gap for me between the Puma and Canaletto at this point. But I do think Canaletto is a very good racehorse who has some massive amounts of upside. He's just drawn outside in a race he's going to get over bet, and I don't know what he's going to do. If he stalks and wins that race, isn't he immediately a top 4 Derby contender horse?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why he's number 4 on my list.
Dude, here, I don't mind him being number 4 on the list because he does have a lot of upside, a lot of talent. It's just funny that you have him number 4 on your list and you're like, yeah. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he wants to do. I don't know his running style. I can't pick him at Tampa, but he's number 4 on my Derby list.
But here's the thing, Chief Wallabee immediately were tons of talent.
Yeah.
This is a horse that's talented like that. You can see it in that first race.
No, you're missing. That's not what I'm saying.
I know
agree.
You're making fun of me because I'm not picking him. I get it. I'm just trying to justify. I understand he is on my list, and I'm not picking to win a Derby prep race this weekend.
Okay.
Because he's going to be 2-1.
The only way it would make sense to have him at number 4 on your Derby list if the Puma was number 3, 2, or 1, which he may be.
No, this is where we disagree. Because if I think Canaletto is going to be 2-1, and I think the Puma is going to be 5-1, and I have 1 at 4 and 1 at 6, taking the 1 at 6 at 5-1 is a better bet than taking the 1 at 4 at 2-1.
Okay.
This is math. Come on, there is you have to factor price into selections, and to me, I think I'm going to get a lot better price on Puma than I am Canaletto. Now, if Canaletto walks in the gate at 4-1. I'm going to be punching myself. I'm going to be what are you doing, dummy? But hey, we'll find out. Who's your number 4?
Number 4 for me is Nearly. I've said on the show, I'm not completely sold on him. He did not come home very fast in the Holy Bull, but he also pressed a pretty hot pace. I'm hoping for the Florida Derby, he kind of sets off the lead and therefore he can kind of finish the race a little bit stronger. But it all comes down to the Florida Derby for me. He could shoot up to number 1 if he runs really big and wins there. He could be off the list if he runs 4th or 5th, but I think he's done enough for me to keep him at number 4. So number 4, Nearly for me.
Yeah, probably the horse that I have the worst grasp on how good this horse is.
Yeah.
I did not pick the horse last time out. I'm not going to pick him in the Florida Derby. I will reserve the right to change my opinion after that Florida Derby, though, which is going to be a banger. And it's going to be a banger because our 1 and 2 are the exact same, too. And I'm kind of disappointed that you're stealing my Chief Wallabee thunder and putting this horse at number 1. I've got Chief Wallabee number 1. Aaron's got Chief Wallabee number 2. Number 1. I've got Commandment number 2. Aaron's got Commandment number 2. I think Chief Wallabee's won with a bullet. I don't think it's close. We will see what happens when Commandment stretches out. I know what will happen when Chief Wallabee stretches out. I'm not someone who's like, this is my Derby horse months early. This is kind of my Derby horse, and it's months early. And I don't see anyone else that has the same ceiling right now. Now, obviously, has to get to the gate, has to show that we can continue to reach that ceiling next time out in the Florida Derby. But if Chief Wallabee isn't 1 or 2 on your list is wrong. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I think I'll go as far as say this. When I was ranking my top 5, I'm one of those guys that rank them since November, right? Because I love lists, and Somich hates fun. So
no, it's okay. Where was Chief Wallabee on your list in November?
On number 1 for sure. But
for sure.
I knew about this first time starter that was going to start 3 months later. But look, here's the deal. The point I'm trying to get at before I was rudely interrupted by the Puma over there is Chief Wallabee. When I was putting together my list this week, I didn't even think about putting anybody else first. I was like, yeah, well, Chief Wallabee's 1, and then we'll work down from there. Because, again, I have so much respect for Mott, and I just know how Bill Mott can get a horse to improve. And I just know if this horse can do what the normal Mott progression is, he's going to be a lot better on the first Saturday of May than he was last weekend. And last weekend would get him close to winning the Kentucky Derby. The first Saturday in May, if he just improves a little bit, he's better than these horses we've seen. So I am worried about the, lack of foundation. I am worried that it's not a typical Mott where he's pointing for a race and working backwards. He's kind of having to work forward because this horse has jumped on the scene. But look, if he does what I think he's going to do in the Florida Derby, I can't see myself not picking him in the Kentucky Derby, and he will be my pick in the Florida Derby. Spoiler alert. So, I didn't have a choice. I was so impressed by the race.
I don't like this. This was my horse.
It is.
And now you're just jumping on the bandwagon. I have not wavered for a month since that debut that this was the horse.
Now I want to be clear about something. You picked him and you were wrong last week, though.
No, I was and I wasn't. That's the point. That's the thing. I was and I wasn't.
It's a great answer. Yeah.
Yes, he lost the race, but I was very right. That's the funny part about horse racing is that you can be right and you can be wrong all at the same time. I will rescind my statement. You could have Chief Wallabee 3rd. If someone out there has Paladin 1 and Commandment 2 because Commandment beats Chief Wallabee and Chief Wallabee 3rd, fine. I will accept that answer. If anyone besides those 2 horses are ahead of him, I've got a problem.
Yeah.
I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. Well, Paladin is kind of an unknown still because we do pretty much think he's going to improve. Brown horses improve in their second starts in the Bluegrass. So that's why I kind of have him in 3rd. He's floating there going, okay, can he jump up and run a race like we saw last weekend? I don't know, but can he get close? Maybe, Yeah.
So. Paladin has to prove things to me still for me to consider. And he's the current favorite if you look in the future market in Kentucky Derby betting. So, to me, that you still need to prove something if you are Paladin. We'll see if he can do that in the Bluegrass. I mentioned Brown's Preakness horse, something he's very good at, running in the Preakness. Do you think it's emerging market? I really feel like it's emerging market the way this has been playing out. That's why I'm asking the question.
Yeah, I think so. And I think we'll know a lot Saturday with how Powership does. Say he wins. Well, I mean, all of a sudden, how good does emerging market look? I think emerging market's, at last I heard, going to the Risen Star, which I think that's a good spot. And that could set him up really well for a run in the Preakness. I guess a lot of it's going to depend on how good does he look there. Does he win? And does he win super impressive where, hey, we're going to throw him in the Derby? I don't know. But I think when he won on Sam F. Davis Day, I said, there's the Preakness horse. So yes, I'll just agree and we can move on.